Welcome! This is our last video in the Citing Your Work video series. This is video number 3, going on a treasure hunt and learning about in-text citations. So we have 3 tasks that we want to accomplish with this video. The first is we are going to check over our works cited page. We have the 2 previous videos that tell us why we need one, what it actually is, and how to set one up. So we're going to take a look at a completed works cited page and see what we're actually discuss what we are looking at. Secondly, I'm going to teach you about parenthetical citations, which is what's happening inside your paper that lead to the works cited page. And then all of that, it all works together. You're going on a treasure hunt here. So we're going to learn how what's happening inside your paper with sources matches up with your works cited page and vice versa. So here we go. Let's go on a treasure hunt. So here we are looking at a complete works cited page. I'll go ahead and tell you that the citations are done correctly, at least, so that you don't have to go find all these books. But let's look at all of the pieces. First, we have a brand new page. Let's start there. Brand new page. And it's page 16. This is a paper I wrote a few years ago. So it's page 16. And here's the actual end of my paper on page 15. Now I have a bunch of white space here, but that's just the rule. That's how you do it. So we start works cited on its own page. Now it's works with an S because there's more than one source. So if it was only one source, it would be a work cited. I don't have the word page. I don't have this italicized. It's just normal. Times New Roman, size 12. You can check it right up here. And then we have everything in alphabetical order, going from C to W, and all of our citations that go on to a second line are indented just one over. So we call that a hanging indent, and each time a new citation starts, we line it back up on the left. All right, so formatting, we look good. It's all double-spaced, alphabetical order, hanging indents, all of that. There's a period at the end of all of them. That's another thing I'd like to mention. Period, 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 period. Every time you end a citation, you end it with a period. Okay, so our second task was to look inside the paper at what we call in-text or parenthetical citations. So we're going to come all the way back up. Let's see, everything's looking good, looking good. All right, here is our first paragraph. Now we will talk about what to cite, when to cite in more detail in class. But we have this little monster right there. It is an in-text or a parenthetical citation. That's what that is. Here's another one. Dickinson 265. Let's see, let's go for another one. And then we have just a few page numbers because we have our author inside that sentence. Let's find another one. Dun, 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 dun. The World of Emily Dickinson right here. And then page number. Same thing right here. All right, so all of those, oh, there's Castle 182. All of these things that I've been pointing out, we call those parenthetical citations. They are literally citations within parentheses, which is where that parenthetical part comes from. So every time, like in this sentence, all I'm doing is I'm giving a definition, but I'm citing Castle from page 182. Semiology is the social element of language, which is exactly what Castle put in the book that I have on my works cited page on page 182. So let's highlight that and let's talk about this one. All right, I used the exact wording from that source, so I put it in quotation marks. Inside my parentheses, I say Castle 182. So let's go back down to our works cited page. Oh, look at that. Okay, Castle, Gregory, The Blackwell Guide to Literary Theory, and then Blackwell Publishing, 2007. So, this is where my original source can be found. This is where my original source can be found. And so then we scroll back up. We're just watching for the highlighted part. Where There we go. Castle 182. So this little piece right here, castle, it gets us down to our works cited page, which matches up directly, castle. So if I was to go to the library and I found the Blackwell Guide to Literary Theory, I would be able to go to page, 182, and I would be able to find these exact words. And that's where our treasure hunt comes in. No matter what you've got going on in your paper, you cite any ideas that are not yours, and then you come down to your works cited page, and it had better match up. So one thing I mentioned in video number 2, or well at the end of video number 1, I know for sure, the works cited page includes citations that are included inside your paper, no more no less. So we're going to play a game here. All right, so we've knocked out castle, right? We already found that one quotation, and so that one quotation means that castle better be on this works cited page. So here he is. We can check that one off. I'll go ahead and tell you this entire paper is about Emily Dickinson, but we're going to make sure that she is cited anyway. So what I've done is I've highlighted the first piece of information only. The first piece of information. You will not highlight yours. Okay? Please be clear on that. You will not highlight yours. But for our purposes, I wanted to kind of point that out. So we're going to select Dickinson. We're going to come up to our search and make sure that she's inside our paper. Oh, she's everywhere. Look at that. And she's even, here we go, she's even in a parenthetical citation here. All right, oh dear. All right, let's get back down to our works cited page. All right, Sylvia Plath, one of my other favorites. We're going to copy Plath, which is our first piece of information. We're going to search for it, and there she is. All right, Sylvia Plath once wrote in her pseudo-autobiography, and now she is not in parentheses right here. That is okay. All right, we do have a page number down here, but we are still telling our reader that we are using this quotation from her book, The Bell Jar, and so she still has to go on our works cited page. All right, so Plath is good. Okay, now this one, this is a good one. The World of Emily Dickinson and Her Poetry. I highlighted just the world, but I also highlighted the quotation mark. If the first piece of information on your works cited page is in quotation marks, then it must be in quotation marks inside your paper. So we're going to come and highlight all of this, including the quotation marks. Do a little search. Oh, there it is, right there. All right, so quotation marks, The World of Emily Dickinson, in quotation marks. Then we give a page number, and it's in parentheses. So let's talk real quickly about page numbers. Not all of your sources are going to actually have page numbers, especially if you're working with pages on websites. But let's see, this is a print source. This is a print source. These are all print sources. And so they are all going to have page numbers. Now I did this specifically right here because I only use her one time, and I don't use the whole book. I'm not going all through the literary theory guide. I'm not going all through the collected works, which is, let's see, this one, the collected poems of Emily Dickinson. I'm not using just a ton. So you don't always list all of the page numbers as long as you have them inside your text, inside your actual paper. All right, so The World of Emily Dickinson, that one's good. And then we already saw this one, but we'll check one more time. And there we go. There we go. In parentheses, first piece of information only. And then we have, excuse me. And then we have page numbers because it is a print source. Let's look at this one sentence as one kind of last thing. This is not in quotation marks. I did not directly take the author's words here, but I did take an idea. I took a piece of information that I did not know previously, and so I have to give credit where credit is due. I have to give credit to the source that I found this information from. So we go back down, and and that was our last source. And so we've checked all of these off. So that's what I mean when I call it a treasure hunt. It's when you're actually in your paper and I see Dickinson 163 here, then I had better be able to go down to your works cited page and I find Dickinson. I notice that this is a print source, and so you have also given me the page number. So if I go and I pick up the Barnes & Noble Classics Collected Poems of Emily Dickinson, then I can go to that specific page number that you mentioned inside your paper right here. I can go to page 163 and I will find these 2 lines of poetry. So it all works together. All of these in-text citations inside your paper, 1, note that you took this information from somewhere else and that you are giving it credit, and 2, will lead me to the original source material down on your works cited page using the first piece of information only. The first piece of information only. So that's how it works. That's an in-text citation, your works cited page, and how they work together. And as always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email, and I will be happy to work with you one-on-one or in class.